game win rate, and we're not talking about like the actual win rate of the team. It's just the game win rate on specific sites. So for AP BREN, this is 80%. They win 86% of the games that they play on the blue side, right? So going back to the flexibility, we're talking about Arlott, we're talking about Ruby, like heroes that can be flexed from one role to another, and sometimes even the Barretts. Now, it can be seen in the XP lane, sometimes in other parts of the map. I also want to talk about the topic earlier between like Super Marco as well as Kelra. I can sum it up very quickly on the fact that Kelra is a hyper carry, while Super Marco is more of a fixer-upper kind of a gold laner.
Fixer-upper.
Yeah, it kind of feels like whatever hero they need as a team, that is what AP BREN drafts. While for ONIC, they really draft around Kelra's playstyle, where they put all of their baskets in that.
You know what's funny about that, Wolf?
Fixer-upper. One thing that stood out, like in my head, it was during their World Tour last year that Super Mark was one of the key players who was like the silent, well, marksman, silent killer movie type of a person.
Super.
Yeah, and he's just doing all the work because there's so much times back in their World Tour that they can be outdrafted, but one thing they're trying to be consistent of is how they can be versatile as each player in each lane. You were saying?
The funny thing, as the first pick comes through here, it's Joy. But about the playstyles, because we're already going to point a lot of the attention on the gold lanes here. And that's the thing, though, is the playstyle, sometimes they pick similar heroes.
Yes,
like hero pool is the same. They both play Claude. They both can play Brody. Now, I will say, of course, Kelra has experimented, I feel like, a little more. Obviously, even the Freya pick pops up. But essentially, even if they play the same heroes, they still have that shining playstyle of them, which makes it so fitting for the team they're on here. So swing back
Fredrin.
or ONIC. What are we feeling? Fredrin.
Feeling Fredrin or Barretts for ONIC.
See value in me?
This is the Fredrin. Maybe
You should.
an Angela, actually, to snag it. Or a Minotaur.
First rule around here.
Or the carry.
Break all the rules.
Okay.
Break all the rules.
Red carry.
77%
Red
contention rate. Carry.
Okay.
Also for Kelra as well.
Angela looks good for AP BREN. Also, flex pick can be played by few. And immediate Roger. All right.
Wow. This draft is getting so much quicker than I expected.
There's the Angela that we talked about. I wonder if ONIC are considering getting the Louis special that they're doing, because Super Prince is just so good at that hero. But maybe they'll just go back somewhere along the lines of a Valentina. Maybe not in this particular pick. Maybe along the way. But Valentina is definitely going to be considered by ONIC.
Even when
They go Vexana.
Still
This
starts
is
with a V.
weird. This is very weird for me, because there's already a Joy and a Roger, two heroes that can dive, and then there's the Angela. This is a weird decision from ONIC, honestly.
You would have rather seen them take the Valentina, so at least they could have had a hard guard even, you know, in a way.
Yeah, and again, Vexana is great when that Vexana is paired up with two tanks, so that can sit back, and when there's no assassin-esque kind of hero from the enemy, because you want to really just sit back. And Super Prince now having the Vexana, you're going to be facing up against either Roger Angela or Joy Angela. You don't want to be in that spot.
Yeah, this gives out so much vulnerability even through the back line as well.
Let's hear from the crowd. Make some noise for yours truly.
Again, the fact that you have the Fredrin picked up here, you saw the graphic for King Kong. We know that. You have to remember, too, if you guys haven't watched so much of ONIC Philippines games, King Kong is specifically, even if it's a Fredrin, he plays it like an assassin for the most part. Like, he's probably one of the more calculated, aggressive type players on a Fredrin that I can think of. So, and with that, I mean, taking a look at this, too, the most first blood kills, Kyle Teasy. He's #1 here.
Wow.
And Gem.
4 first bloods.
Oh, the tie. Yeah, it's tied.
It's tied to 4, and Edward goes to top 2.
Okay. So just the Kaja. There is a chance that AP BREN just picks up the Glue or the Thams. So either of those two heroes might be picked up by ONIC. But knowing ONIC, they might just go for something like a Terizla for Mr. Gem himself. And then they just last pick the Escalera hero. Just, you know, swing it around. Without the Kaja, though, there's still the Minotaur that they can pick up. So I'm thinking Minotaur Terizla for ONIC as their last 2 picks. And AP BREN, I will not be surprised if they pick up something like a Glue. And then another tank hero.
There's the Terizla.
And usually what you pick up for AP BREN is Thams or Glue, like I said. And then they're going to be looking for another tank, perhaps, for Ogwen, so that they can supplement this Joy. Or something with the wave clear. Maybe they put the Angela on the roam roll and maybe pick up a Lilia, actually.
I feel like if they went that way, I mean, you're really relying on, obviously, the shielding, the heals that you get, sustainability. I would like to see them go a little more on the durability route, like you talked about. Terizla's going to be picked up here on the other side. So for AP BREN, what are you thinking?
Faramis, maybe? Actually, still open. Faramis glue.
Faramis glue.
Yeah, or Faramis stamps.
You got the glue, but you get the ruby. I like this though because, again, I feel like they needed some of that kind of extra durability on this lineup. If you know, you can't completely rely on those heals or that shielding from Angela. You have that, and now this can help you kind of pair things up really well with set potential. But I still feel like ONIC Philippines, given the 4 first picks that they have right now as we wait for the 5th, I'm liking the lineup they have.
Yeah, it's a great combination as well. Because you were talking about earlier that there's so much dive from the first 3 picks of AP BREN, and this complements everything. You have a way to pull out the carry, you have a way to force out ultimates out of this Vexana, so the last pick could still be a changer. And
a Franco.
Not expecting that.
Absolutely not. But the thing with Franco is that you have a lockdown against the Joy. It's a traditional counter, right? Back in MPL Season 11, across all of the MPL regions, they let go of the Joy, but pick up the Franco for sure. I still like the lineup for AP BREN though. I think it's more, I guess, easier to pull off.
Yeah.
And this glue is absolutely going to be a problem for ONIC.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do this real quick as we dive more into the lineups. Again, we want to invite everyone to let us know who you think is going to win the series over on YouTube. Remember, on YouTube, hashtags, the hashtag AP BREN or hashtag ONIC. You have a chance at winning 1,000 diamonds. And for you guys watching on TikTok, don't forget the goodie bag. That'll be on the upper left corner. So give it your best. You'll see the lineups here once again. Leading into this, Wolf, you told us you like the lineup of AP BREN. You think it can work really well. OSX, are you going with ONIC?
Right now, I'm going with maybe AP BREN, because I would love a challenge with how ONIC Philippines would actually pull this draft off.
Well, we're going to find out here as we jump into the Land of Dawn, the superstar match of the day. The battle of streaks and the battle of the gold standards here. It's AP BREN and ONIC Philippines. Let's take a look at how they're going to set up this early game rotation, because we know that's really where it's going to start here. And, you know, we can wait to kind of compare what's going on with the gold lane. Now, with this lineup and these 2 kind of junglers, who's going to be more of the aggressor here, Wolf, as we also take a look at the emblems?
Should be Fredrin. The Joy is naturally just a hero that farms. And Escalera already making it difficult for the Joy to farm. You can see some of the resets. Not literally on the map right now, but that is literally what happened in the orange buff for Caltese.
We've seen a bit of an advantage there from the gold lane, from Kelra, and as well as for Super Marco. I think this is the matchup that you're all looking for. How will you deal? But Iron Hook connected to first blood. Few goes down, and Escalera takes the first kill.
Okay, so they're already off to a start here.
Yeah.
ONIC on the board, that's good. Real quick, too, I wanted to ask, because I know this was a question even from last week. Why the support emblem here for the Fredrin? Because I know we've had a couple different instances where that is picked up, right? And so, and I don't think many do this, as the gold laners kind of battled out here, but why is that? Is that just for the regen?
Definitely about the regen. That's usually about it. And most importantly, cooldown reduction. One thing that's really underrated about the support emblem is the cooldown reduction. And I think that King Kong is going in for, he wants to maximize skill 1 and also the ultimate. Already low cooldown ultimates, but if you add compound that with some of the other CDRs, that means that you constantly just stun your opponents. And then Impure Rage works so much against when it comes to being reliable in the damage output. The early stages.
Prince, okay, he's already gonna
Eternal Guard
gets that out of there, but Turtle's now up, so that's gonna just go in the hands of ONIC Philippines. They're off to a great start here against AP BREN. And, you know, with this little minor lead they have, this could set them up for a lot of success going into the mid game even. They just have to kind of control the pacing right now.
Yes.
Yeah, we were kind of questioning how will the backline be an important way to be accessed by AP BREN, but so far the pressure in the XP lane has become a slow pattern that ONIC Philippines is developing.
One thing that we haven't talked about is this is a Roam Angela in a mid lane Ruby. So that's one thing that you have to take note of. Maybe we kind of missed that because usually when we see Ruby Angela, Angela is going to be position 4. But this time it's Few holding onto the Ruby. That's why he was able to take out Super Fins. And I believe that Few will be farming a little bit here as the Ruby. Don't expect this Ruby to be very tanky. Expect it to have a lot of spell vamp. And he's going to supplement the damage in the early stages for the team.
Yeah, well, as you saw there too, Ogwin, first one of the season to reach that 100 assists. He's got 102 right now, so we'll see how he plays into this Angela. And you know, the fact that both teams have a focusing mark emblem as well could actually turn some of the tides of these early skirmishes, and then later on when we get to these more lengthier fights towards the Lord fights, that small percentage, what is it, 6% I think it is, could help in some of those initial fights.
Oh, Iron Hook connecting to one. That is Few going down. That's the second kill of ONIC Philippines. Invading the jungle as well. Purple not going to be left alone. Kyle T's looking for a way to retribution. This objective, Ogwin popping on the string, connecting to one. Immobilize King Kong. Kyle TZ looking for a way to steal this. No, he did not get it. King Kong steals the purple right away. That's the taunt Kyle TZ might be trapping through. That's the penalty zone. Connecting to one. That's the heart guard. Will be enough. No, it won't. Gem secures the kill. FabTZ though on the mid, onto 5 behind enemy lines, right in front. Now taking all the damage. Gem, another double kill for the ONIC Philippines.
Wow, ONIC Philippines striking hard here against AP BREN. And and the great pickoff even from Escalera, as I was just saying, the focusing mark. And when you pair that with the Iron Hook and you get that immediate burst, it helps this early in the game.
Very good -1 coming up. Look at this Escalera going in for Super Marco. Super Marco will be missing some of the cards up top.
That's
what a good
flicker. Bloody Hunt connecting to one. Super Marco will be trapped. Escalera, another kill for ONIC.
Wow. And now you're looking at ONIC just pummeling up top, denying 2 gold cards away from Super Marco. At this point, Kelra is above 900 gold over Super Marco.
A carry, 900 gold at this point in time.
Yep. As we said, this is going to be the battle of these gold laners. That's what we painted the picture here. And right now, it's Kelra. Even though he doesn't have specifically any kills on his board, he's got the 3 assists. But what matters is that he's scaling really well right now based on how this past 5.5 minutes have gone for ONIC Philippines. And they're playing a huge part to it. So later on, we'll have to see if it's true, right? Can Super Marco really fit the bill for AP BREN as he had before? And even the battles for the resources, man.
And another stolen. King Kong, another purple taken away from Kyle TZ.
Yes. Really what you get from his support emblem coming out from King Kong is maximum uptime, obviously. One of the benefits of having that support emblem. Also that Impure Rage that deals significant damage in the early stages of the game. And you have to remember, the strength of the Fredrin is that all of his spells are spammable. If you think about it, like obviously with the cooldown reset as well. So that means that the extra damage that you get every time you use the Impure Rage, it's quite a lot. That's every 5 seconds that you deal adapted damage, extra adapted damage.
So let's take a look at it this way, because guys, we're not used to seeing AP BREN down by, this much. I mean, it's not anything huge, 3.7K, but this is usually uncharted territory for AP BREN.
An early game, a great early game.
And so where do they find their moments of success here? Look at the attention already, by the way.
Look at the gold lane. Look at that gold lane. Kelra versus Super Marco. Look at the damage taking in. Look at that regen as well. Live steal. That's popping on the string, connecting to regen. Back Kelra, but Super Marco takes the kill.
So they trade. Super Marco gets a kill. Another turtle taken. Lockdown though.
Iron Hook and the Bloody Hunt connecting to 1. That's the Heart Guard. That's the EG connecting on to 3. That's FabTZ coming in from the back. He goes down. King Kong, another kill for ONIC Philippines. And that's just 1-1. And they're looking for a way to open the map of AP BREN. Still minions. Minions still here, but the burst coming in from Super Friends. Really good wave clear. And pressure as well.
Amazing plays coming out from AP BREN. And I'm only saying that because of the situation that they're in. Still, ONIC, pretty strong. Almost taken out Kyle TZ, but the hard guard was there. But you have to also take note that Flap TZ jumped to 5 members of ONIC without having his ultimate up. So that's why he got melted.
Just got melted so quickly for Glue, man. I mean, maybe he thought, you know, there was going to be a kind of counter punch there, but right now they're struggling, and they have to continuously dodge these hooks as well from Escalera. And it's funny, too, because when you think about the way that Escalera's been playing in the previous weeks and everything else, you know, he's been picking up those aggressive roams, like, for example, the Arlot in the roam. And this time, he's got to be a little more, I guess, calculated when you have a Franco. Again, he's only been picked up, what, one other time for the season? I believe this is the second time Franco's come to play.
Yeah.
But in a similar fashion, when that flicker is available, Escalera is making those decisive decisions to go in.
Well, speaking of decisive, that's the Iron Hook, another bloody hunt, and the ultimate just bursting through 2 members of AP BREN. And they've been caught by surprise. ONIC takes a turret as well.
Wow.
I feel like I'm just calling things, guys, and it's happening. So oh, man.
The ONIC group up. This is like a RSG version of the, a faster version of the Death Ball on RSG of back Season 9. And if you look back at all of the teams that are doing this, ONIC really stands out as a great tempo team where they eventually just group up as 5 and they just ram through their opponents.
Man, and this most likely is just like a Lord for them as well.
If that connected, that would have been crazy. But this Lord freely gets by King Kong another objective for ONIC Philippines. No orange or purple left in the camp of AP BREN. We're going back for a replay.
We're taking a look at a replay at the possibility of what could have happened there. Or let's take a look at this. Okay, this is earlier on where you see that setup. As I was talking about Escalera, with that conceal, gets the hook. Boom. Dead. That's the focusing mark, the additional damage. And now with this, ONIC Philippines finding themselves in a huge lead at this point. 10 minutes in the game. They're going to get a ton of more space to work with. And possibly, I mean, with this kind of lead economically, they should be able to get one of these base turrets down as well. AP BREN, though, defense-wise, Wolf, how's it looking?
Not that good. They don't have long-range burst on the defense. It's really not good. That's all I wanted to say.
It's not pretty as that mid turret
Unless
be worked
Escalera, another with the Iron Hook with the flicker. EG combo, 2-man knock-up with the Eternal Guard. Now burst with the follow-up. Keller takes down Flap. Another one goes down with the follow-up with the burst here onto mid. Kyle TZ falls again. That's two. ONIC Philippines in the base of AP BREN right away. And another hook will not connect to Few. Looking for ways to defend this turret down bottom. Minions pushing in. Another hook by Escalera right in mid. Flap tees the first casualty, but still another one they're looking for it to defend this. Another one! An iron hook from Escalera! And now Supermark wants a way to revenge. Another kill, that's 2. Looking for a way to be pulled back. Now Hard Guard looking for a way to defend and surprise and also recover from those burst damages. AP BREN will now go back to defend.
Well, can they hold on to this last turret in the base? Looks like they're going to be able to, but what a power play from ONIC Philippines right now.
Yeah. King Kong still spamming the hell out of this Fredrin. How can they defend with this kind of lead? How?
It's gonna be difficult. It's very noticeable now that the damage output from Kyle TZ is not a problem at all for ONIC.
Yeah.
With all the Radiant Armors, Dominance Ice also picked up. And then at this point, the Vexana that we're talking about that will struggle from dive because of the Roger as well as the Angela Joy now has the Winter Transient. So ONIC Philippines, even their weakest link, I would say, Super Fritz, is no longer weak at all.
Yeah. Well, once again, as we're here in this little stalemate part of the game, I want to remind everyone watching on TikTok, keep an eye for the goodie bag on the top left. And all you guys watching on YouTube, let us know with the hashtag #APBREN, #ONIC, which team you think is going to win for a chance at 1,000 diamonds. Don't forget when you do the hashtags, guys, on YouTube, that you include your user ID as well as your server ID to top it off. Now, Lord comes here. It's spawned up. AP BREN massively behind in terms of the economy for this game. And look at this already. ONIC wants to even just try to cut them off, possibly. Will they let King Kong work on this Lord here? So AP BREN, tough decision. 2 base turrets down. They have to keep someone managing the waves as well as dealing with this possible fight, but they might not even be in
There's a push.
a position
There's a wave.
to fight this.
Yeah, they show. I mean, ONIC knows that the joy is so far. They can burst the Lord now and take it for their own.
Oh, this
AP BREN is trying to contest this. King Kong secures the objective. Now flapped easy. Taking the Terrify. Oh, that's a flicker. 3-man penalty zone. Right on to 3 of AP BREN. Now Kelra takes the damage. Oh, no, gives out the damage. Now Few being chased down by Kelra. He won't be able to escape this one. That's a double for Kelra. Now King Kong looking for a way to spam out of Super Mario. That's the burst following up from this Vexana Super Prince. Look at Eska from the mid. Look at from the mid. There's so much happening right there from the base and from the mid. But ONIC Philippines eyeing on the space, locking on the crystal. And for the first game, ONIC Philippines takes this one.
The Super